And a 1 and a 2 and a 3. Welcome back to the Cavalier Cast. I am Samuel Gillespie.
And I am Burke Bankston.
And we're your hosts today. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day, wherever and whenever you're listening to this. Burke, how was your day today?
My day today has not been going so well, Sam. I'm struggling today.
Why is that?
I took my calculus test this morning after missing it yesterday, and needless to say, I didn't know what I was doing, and I just accepted defeat.
You know, every time when you like don't study for something and when you're anticipating it, you like think about it all week.
It's not even that I didn't study for it. I just don't know what I'm doing in that class.
Well, sometimes it happens, and you have to have some good teachers for that.
That's very true.
But on another note, I heard that you had a tennis match last night. Did you play?
We did. Actually, no. So Brookville only had 5 players, and one of which was suspended.
Oh, my.
So
okay.
Only the top 4 ended up playing and beat them pretty handily. So it went well.
You kind of won by default then?
Yeah. Win by default without having to play.
That's pretty nice. I mean, that's a win in my book.
It is.
So, you know what would make today just a little better, Burke? A very, very special guest. He's, of course, a teacher, and he's also a runner, and he's also a coach, and he might just like history. Ooh. Introducing our special guest for today, Mr. Gibbs.
Hello. Glad to be on the show.
Hello,
Mr. Gibbs, tell us a little about yourself.
Yep.
For the people that don't know who you are.
Well, if you don't know me because you're not in 11th or 12th grade, I am Mr. Gibbs. I'm a history teacher here at JF. Also, I am a JF graduate. Graduated in 2002. I love history.
That's awesome.
Yes.
And running.
And running.
And, yeah.
So, do you want to tell us a little bit about how you came to liking history or...
I actually grew to like history growing up when we went on like summer vacations and stuff.
Yep.
My dad would always take us to Civil War battlefields.
Okay.
So I grew to fall in love with the Civil War, and then I got to college, and like most people, you get to college and you don't know what you want to do. And I liked history, so what do you do with a history degree?
Yep.
You become a teacher.
And did you like teaching people and making people want to do stuff? And
yeah, I had actually started my major when I started in college was youth ministry. So
okay.
I had planned to go in something, preaching, which is similar to teaching in some ways. But then I felt like I wasn't called to that. So that's when I decided to get into teaching. And I knew I wanted to work with young people. Yeah. So this is a different way of doing it, but essentially the same kind of way.
And I have a button real quick. So we actually did a quick we took questions from the community for you, and one of the people that gave us a question was Mr. Munson.
Oh.
From last podcast, if you don't know. And Mr. Munson asked, why do people call you Reverend or Gibbs? Is that the reason?
Call me Reverend?
Reverend Gibbs.
Reverend Gibbs. It said, why do teachers? He says he's heard a lot of teachers say that.
That actually started with Mr. McCord because...
Oh, okay.
I know. Steve McCord. You should definitely interview him.
Yeah.
But he actually started that because I am licensed to be able to do weddings.
Okay.
In the Commonwealth of Virginia. And I got that licensure so that I could do my sister's wedding.
All right.
But now I've since done the weddings of several former students and some friends. So.
Imagine getting married. Imagine Mr. Gibbs marrying you.
Okay.
That would be insane. That would be so awesome.
It's always fun when I do the ceremonies because I get to bring up hey, I remember you when you were, in 11th grade and I taught you. So.
Especially, when you do it with students.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I have 2 questions for you. So you said that your dad took you on trips to Civil War battlefields. Do you take your kids and do they enjoy it?
I do take my kids to Civil War battlefields and cemeteries because I love going to old cemeteries. As far as them enjoying it, that is a great question. My daughter definitely likes history more than my son does.
Okay.
So I would say she gets more entertainment out of it. Last summer we went and visited several Gettysburg and Antietam. And so we did a lot of hiking and walking in those. So yeah, they like it as much as a middle school student's going to like it.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
So you're a outdoorsy guy.
I am an outdoorsy guy. Yeah.
So is that a reason why you like cross country, like being outside and running?
I do. I love being outside. You could say it goes back to me. I actually grew up working on my family's tobacco farm.
Okay.
So during the summer, all we did was spend time outside, and I grew up in like the country in Pamplin, Virginia, which is a town of like 200 people.
Yeah.
So there, all we really had to do was play outside because we could only get like ABC, NBC, CBS as far as that.
Right.
So yeah, I've always spent a lot of time outside. And then as I became an adult and got into running, I spent even more time outside.
And you've been training for a marathon you just ran, correct?
Yes, I trained after cross-country season. I was in really, really good shape. And I was like, hey, you know, I did a marathon 8 years ago. I'm in a lot better shape now, so let's do it again.
That's awesome. And I've seen you out at the track.
Yep.
I mean, he is working. And you got a PR, right?
I did, yeah. My goal was under 4 hours, and I was on pace with that through mile 20. And then after mile 20 is like in a marathon where everybody says, like, this is where it becomes really tough. And so that last 6.2 miles, I slowed down, but I did get 4 hours and 17 minutes.
Wow.
That is impressive.
That is a goal right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And do you have anything like to tell the students listening to this, like any advice for like when you're running? I know like I run and the mental struggles is tough. Like what is your advice there?
Yeah, just so much, not just in running, but in life comes down to like the mental aspect of it, where you are mentally.
Exactly.
And that's what you can say about running. Yeah, a lot of it's physical, but so much of it is mental and about pushing through the pain. I know, like, even in that marathon when I did it, when I got past 20 miles and I was feeling terrible, I was like, I just want to walk. I just want to walk. But I kept telling myself, like, you know, even if I'm running super slow, I'm going to keep running and pushing through that. And like I said, that can be applied to all aspects in life, where if you put your mind to something, you can accomplish a whole lot.
And it's crazy how much more you have in you than you think you do. Like if you set your goal way farther than you want it to be, then you're going to achieve a lot more.
Yep.
Quick technical difficulties.
It's all right.
But yeah, I mean, if you set your mind to something and you achieve it, you're going to go way farther in life than what you thought to be.
Exactly.
And one last thing before we wrap this up. What is some, I mean, I know you just gave some life advice, but what is some more life advice you could give students, or something from your past that helped you when you were struggling or just going through life?
Yeah, I would say probably the biggest advice for me is just like, think about who you surround yourself with. I think, you know, the people that I surround myself with, like, you don't want people that are going to drag you down. And that doesn't mean you have to treat everybody or that you have to treat people differently. You can treat everybody the same. Yeah. And I pride myself on, you know, people who, you know, aren't the same as me politically or with religion, whatever it might be, that I treat everybody the same. But I think a lot in life comes down to like the people that you surround yourself with, because it's very easy for somebody to bring you down as a person. But you want to surround yourself with those people that are going to inspire you to do better and be better, because otherwise, you know, a lot of times we surround ourselves with people that aren't going to challenge us. And for me in my life, I've tried to challenge or surround myself with people that are going to challenge me. Like my church, my pastor, John Dupin at Waymaker Church, he is always about challenging you to be a better person. If you get those people in your life, it's going to make a huge, huge difference.
Exactly, yeah. And I mean, I think that applies everywhere. And I know some people out there right now are probably listening, and they might not think that they have found those people, but like you will find those people. And if you have nasty people around you or people that kind of don't bring you up, then I mean, kind of set them away and just know that you will find these great people, and they will come into your life, and you're not going to be alone or sad or upset forever.
And I think it was Ben Franklin that had a quote. I don't remember the specifics of the quote, but it was something along the lines of, like, you can tell who's been hanging out with dogs because they have fleas. And it's basically, again, I butchered his quote, but he's talking about the people that you surround yourself with. You can it shows in who you are as a person.
Right.
See, that's where history comes in handy when you're Thinking of quotes?
That was the history nerd in him right there.
Exactly.
The history nerd.
Every day we start class with a quote. So.
Hey, we do that in Munson's too.
That is true.
Yep.
Well, we are geniuses. So.
Oh, yeah. Geniuses at heart. All right. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Burke, do you have anything else to say?
No,
Any questions
I think
you want to ask Mr. Gibbs?
That's good. Man.
Burke and Mr. Gibbs have a really cool connection. I'll say
Yes.
that.
Yes, we do.
I greatly appreciate Mr. Gibbs coming out and doing this with us.
Thank you so
This
much
has been
for
really nice.
coming on and letting us interview you.
I'm glad to be on. And like I said, next time make sure you get Mr. Steve McCord.
Mr.
on.
Steve McCord, we'll
He's
put him
definitely
down.
going to be on the list. Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.